I'm Frances, and I'm going to tell you a story. It's a fishy tale, but it starts in this living room. There were 3 children. It's not a school day, so they've got more or less dressed. There's a few shoes and socks need matching up there. They're thinking, what are we going to fill the day with, the whole day? What would be interesting? Leah looks out the window and she sees the postman and says, "Oh, postman's coming, must have a letter for Mum. Wonder what that's going to be about." They don't know, but that letter's going to decide what they do today. So they stop playing with the cat, they stop reading the books, and their mum comes in. We'll see what happens next. Well, Mum comes in with the letter and she says, "This is great. Grandad sent a letter, he's lost his mobile phone again, and he says he can't cope with the landline. And he wants to come to tea." She looks at the letter and says, "Oh, it's today. And he wants fish." Well, Grandad always wanted fish. He was a man who used to be on the trawlers, on the fishing boats when he worked. And whenever he comes to Hull, which is where these children live, that's what he demands for his tea. "Well, that's all right," said the children. "He can have fish and chips." "No, he can't. The fish and chip shop's shut. The guy's gone on holiday. I'm going to have to buy some fish, but I'm really, really busy today." Well, the children looked at each other and said, "We can buy the fish, Mum. We'll go out and get it for you." "Oh, that would be really good, but you must be very careful. Okay, look after the money, look after this, but if you should, that would be great." "Yeah, we'll do that," said the kids. They felt very grown up, very responsible. Somebody else was listening who likes fish, Pusscat. So, as you can see, they're putting on their coats, buttoning things up, they've got their shoes on, got their boots on, got the bag, and they set off with Pusscat following, not going to miss out on some fish. Well, they go to the fish shop, and they're just about to go in when the fish shop man comes out and says, "Well, have you seen the sign? Sold out. I haven't got any fish. You'll have to go somewhere else." "But you're the best fish shop in town, and it's for our Grandad, and he was on the trawlers, on the fishing boats. We want the best fish." "I can't help you," said the fish shop man. Well, children looked at each other. "Where do you get your fish from?" They said, "Well, I go down to the fish docks and get it from the people who sort the fish out and get it ready for the shops." "Okay," said the children. "We'll go there." And they trotted off. So, they got to the fish docks. And there's a lady, one of the ladies there, who gets all the fish ready to go to the shops and go to the restaurants and go to the cafes for people to eat the fish, fresh fish from home. And she had all the barrels that should have been full of fish. "Where's the fish?" said the children. "You're too late," she said. "It's all been sold off. It's all gone to the different places that we send it to." "What, you've got no fish in your fish warehouse?" "No. And if you look, it is all empty." Pusscat very disappointed. "But there are some other creatures in there. I don't know if you can see them and see how many there are." Well, the fish docks were by the river, and the children looked at the lady at the fish docks and said, "Okay, well, we're down here, we're by the river. What do we do now? Where do you get your fish from?" Well, the woman said, "We get it when the trawler men bring it in, when the fishing boats come in full of fish and they bring it across. And they go out onto the Humber, the big, huge estuary, and they go out far into the sea." "Okay," said the children. "Where do the trawlers go from?" The lady pointed and said they quite near, just further down on the docks. And so the children decided that they would go down there. They got down to the place where the trawlers go out, and there was a trawler there, a fishing vessel. And the captain, the skipper, he was standing looking out to sea. Well, the children came up, they saw him and they shouted, excuse me, sir, can we have a word with you? Well, the trawlerman came out, leant over the side of his boat, said, what do you want? I'm busy, you know, I'm just waiting for my crew to turn up. I'm off to go and catch some fish. Oh, said the children, to catch some fish? Yes, I haven't got any. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, we want some fish, said the children. We want some fish because our granddad's coming to tea and he loves fish and there isn't any. Well, I'm about to go and get some if my crew ever turn up, but I haven't got any at the moment, said the skipper. In fact, it's time I set off. The tide's going to turn and, you know, I'll be late. Oh, can we come? Said the children. What do you think? Don't be ridiculous, you're children. Oh dear, said the children. And they were talking among themselves, what are we going to do? Grandad's going to be really disappointed. He loves fish, and it's why he likes to come to Hull. And he loves the trawlers. He used to love going out on the trawlers. Hang on, said the skipper. Is your granddad a trawler man? Yeah, he used to go and do fishing out in the North Sea. He's told us all about it. Oh, well, that's a bit different then. Can't have an old trawler man going without fish. How do you feel about helping me go and catch some fish? Well, what would you have said? The children said yes immediately. And they climbed into the boat and set off. There they are, sailing along. Look who came too. Very adventurous up there. Do you think that Pussycat was trying to catch a seagull, but I don't fancy his chances. So the sea was rough. They headed out of the Humber estuary into the North Sea and beyond. The sea was quite choppy. The children all were very sensible. The skipper had said, you're only coming on if you're wearing your life jacket. The jackets that would help if you fell over into the water. They were far too sensible to do that. How are we going to catch the fish, said the children. Said the skipper. I've got a lot of nets in the back of my boat. Like, you know the sort of nets that you have on a stick when you go to the pond? They're a little bit like that, but not on a stick, and absolutely enormous. I push them out over the boat, and then we move the boat along, and they pull in the fish that are in the sea. And we're about to be coming to the point where I know that there are a lot of fish. So get ready to haul those nets off the side of the boat and get them into the sea. And that's what they did. They heaved and they pulled, and it's fair to say they were very, very tired when they were finished, but they got the big net out into the sea and the boat moved along and the net dragged in a lot of fish. Not all the fish, as you can see, but quite a lot of fish in their nets. Pussycat stayed very safely in the wheel room, in the place where the skipper drove the boat, piloted the boat, but the rest of them all helped. But that's a cat for you, isn't it? So they got lots and lots of fish, and they pulled it in to the boat, and then they sailed back home, back to the harbour, back to the docks, and the skipper filled the bag with fish and gave him another bag full of fish, and Pussycat, who actually hadn't helped at all, had a fish to himself. And they said, thank you so much. And he said, yeah, well, remember me to your grandfather, because who knows, I might have sailed with him when I was a young lad, you know. So he went back home, and they had the best fish dinner that you could imagine. And Grandad really enjoyed it. And after they'd finished eating, they sat at that table, piled up the plates, finished off their drinks, and they sat and they talked to their granddad about what they had done and the adventure that they'd had going on the boat. And he talked to them about all the interesting voyages that he'd had and all the things that he'd seen. The seals, the polar bears when he went right up into the Arctic, right up into the far north. The whales that he'd seen leaping in the water, even the killer whales, the big sperm whales and other fish. And he did say that once he thought he saw a mermaid, and she waved at him before she dived into the sea. But that's another story.